Welcome to Block by Block with Zach, brought to us by Neighborhood Housing Services of Southern Nevada. And I am Zach. We're broadcasting from the NHSSN studio from downtown Las Vegas. Episode 1.
Episode 1.
Debut.
Yes.
Finally.
Ooh, Jinx, you're it.
Yeah. And I couldn't think of a better person. We couldn't think of a better person to have on our very first debut episode than Merced. Our first blooper. Michelle Merced of Neighborhood Housing Services of Southern Nevada, our CEO.
Ooh, big name.
Big name. Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Welcome to our first show.
Thank you for having
together.
me. I love this.
I love it.
And not just that, but you didn't say I, you said we, which is so instrumental in the conversations that we're going to have today.
Awesome, because it is. We are a we. It's one team. It's one community. Haven't you been paying attention to the hashtags?
Absolutely.
Who is Michelle? Who are you?
So,
what's going on?
I love this because it's going to take forever. Well, who Michelle is formerly known as Michelle Luistro, and then I turned into Valero for some folks that have been with me for a long time, and then now Merced.
Because you've been here a long time.
Almost 16 years with the organization, so it's been a ride.
Crazy.
It's. Oh, I have a whole bunch of stories.
Oh, sure. I'm sure. How does it feel to have the same, although it's not really the same job, but it's the same organization for 15 years? Because very few people these days stay for 15 years.
Well, that's a great question.
I
know. 15 years goes by real quick, so it doesn't feel like 15 years, but 2 kids later with the organization, it's been a great ride. I started off with the organization as a housing counselor, and prior to that, I was in the business of real estate as a lender with some banks that are no longer with us, like Washington Mutual. I was with WAMU for quite some time.
Wow.
And so it's been a great ride. That's all I can tell you. The organization not only is transforming lives from the team, to the product, but it's changed my life, and it's been such a blessing to me and to my family. So it's just gone by so freaking quick. 15 years, man. Oof.
Well, as I'm learning, because this is my first year, and you still look fabulous. Yes. Looking fabulous.
I don't want to say 15 years, but yeah, it's been 15 years.
But for me being here for a year, I mean, we're very busy. We're very busy. So 15 years can go by fast because every flippin' day.
It's already September.
Crazy. It's
Happy New
September.
Year. Merry Christmas.
Totally.
Happy holidays to everybody that's listening or watching, because I will tell you, for us, we are a slave to our calendar. So yes, there is literally something going on every single day.
And then all the event planning, because we do it right, and we're like 3 to 6 months to 7, 8 months out. So we're already getting ready for Winter Wonderland, which we'll talk about a little later, and all the other things. So that's why 15 years went by fast. You've been busy.
Yeah, we've been busy. But I started off in the organization as a housing counselor.
What is a housing counselor?
So, and it was such an organic step, and I will give props to people that are watching. If you know Julio Jimenez, Julio Jimenez was instrumental in me coming to the organization. It was so different compared to what I'm used to, because I come from corporate, and the purpose changed for me as a loan officer during the height of what was happening in our community around 2008. And being a single mom, and not just even being a single mom, that was just a component of the current situation that made me decide to go to NHSSN, but it was more of, man, I really want to do something that makes me feel good and I can sleep at night, because at the time, for folks who are listening and watching, 08, 09 was a rough time in our community. And so instead of people throwing their keys at me saying, take my house back, I went to Neighborhood Housing Services to say, hey, I'd love to educate through the homebuyer education classes And Julio said, hey, would you even consider being a housing counselor? And I had the same question you had, like, what the heck's a housing counselor, right? And so a housing counselor, to answer your question, is like a loan officer. Okay. And except for loan officers are, we just want to help people.
Right.
But the why could be different, right? And so I learned very quickly working with neighborhood housing services that my why was so connected. And it really is somebody that sits down with somebody like you that's looking to purchase a home for the first time. And I'm going to sit down with you and I'm going to identify where you're at financially. And then together we'll help build a roadmap to your why, which would be to purchase a house. And then try and identify gaps in their financing to say, oh, how can we help? Because, we provide down payment assistance as well. And so it was between the education that I loved through teaching home buyer education, the down payment assistance, which we administer, financial counseling, which I thought was awesome because it really is about changing somebody's trajectory. And then obviously during that time, it was foreclosure counseling. And that really taught me a lot because I was on the other side. As a loan officer, you're pitching to buy a house. Now it's saying, okay, what can I do to save a house? So that really is the role of a housing counselor from the very beginning to the end.
Awesome. There's a very common thread that we'll probably uncover on this broadcast, not on this broadcast, but many broadcasts.
Oh, yeah.
As far as everybody that I've met within NHSSN, came from real estate-ish backgrounds, and not to say they were all tired of it, but we were having an issue, having a moment. We were looking for the why and to do something amazing.
It kind of is, how do you change your playbook? What does that look like for you long term?
Right.
Let's be fully transparent. The goal was a 3 to 5 year career. Actually, I think it was almost 3 years. Stay here for 3 years, and then figure it out. And through that, it just
one thing led to another.
15 years passed. And
did you go from housing counselor to CEO, or was there any?
No, it was housing counselor, and because my background was management, I was. Julio left me, and immediately I became the home ownership director. Okay. So probably about, I want to say 6 months in, and I was loving housing counselor. Right. I was like, this is cool. I don't have to farm. I don't have to look for clients. They come to me. I'm still doing what I love, determining their income, their assets, working 8 to 4:30 at the time. Not having to worry about anything and by the way, I'm leaving. And I became the home ownership director, and then the assistant, or then it was the Kathy. I was the chief operating officer a couple years later, and then 2016, they made me the whatever you want to call it.
Whatever
the
you
president,
are now,
CEO, executive
now.
director, whatever
there
you want
go.
to call it.
Awesome. Quite the 15 years.
Quite the 15 years.
Yes, and I can attest you are awesome and do amazing things. Tell us a little bit about, as a common question that's going to be on the show, is what does affordable housing mean to you?
Ooh, I wrote that down last night. So I guess the question is what does home mean to me? And everybody's got a different narrative on what housing is versus home. And to me, housing is a shell. Home is something different. It's family, it's safety, it's security. There's a whole bunch of stuff I wrote down last night. But just know a little bit about my story. I'm first generation American. And so my parents came to this country believing in the American dream. And they purchased a house in California, probably with, if not the highest interest rates, higher than where we're at today. And a single family home in Southern California. It was probably like 13% at 70,000, right? And so if my parents did not decide to do that, and thank God that they did, I know that our life would have been different. And so when we talk about affordable housing is just, and so folks, for her, if you're listening, the makeup of affordable housing is the same as it would be a home. You know, it is somebody's beginning, it's someone's start. It could be my son who I can't get out of the house. But it's the teachers, you know, it's the faculty of Clark County School District. It's the bus drivers, it's the grocery store workers. These are folks who are saying, you know what, at this point in time, based on the current climate of which none of us can control, because that's how real estate works, right? It's an ebb and flow. This is what I can afford based on my current income. We just don't have enough of it. So the difference between market rate rents and where we sit today at the Betty Jean is I am not eligible to live in this apartment because I make a certain amount of money. So let's just say a one-person family can't make, you know, if I'm just one person, I'm single, I can't make any more than I believe right now it's about $37,000.
Right. Yep.
And so the rents are conducive to that $37,000. And we just don't have enough of it. But nobody knows what really affordable housing is. You know, they talk about it and they're like, oh, it's Section 8, it's the ghetto.
Stigma of that, yes, which we are day by day dismantling.
Block by block.
Block by block. Because it is not that. It is nothing of the stigma, and it's actually the complete opposite.
Nobody would know. And that's the funny part is, you know, when we develop these affordable housing units and we go to council, the stories I have heard and even witnessed, you know, and it was just recently, and, you know, I'm not even going to put anybody out there. It was, your affordable housing is going to take equity away from my church. And I thought to myself, how is that even possible? Because we're changing lives, guys.
Right.
You know, it's their children. It's the future.
Yes.
And again, based on where the market's at right now, it's not changing. It's getting worse.
It's getting worse. We need more things that are affordable. How many units do we currently have?
We own about 216, and we manage right now about 160. Let's just say that.
Split between single families and apartment complexes like the Betty Jean, where we're at. And then we've just opened the Golden Rule.
So they're scattered throughout town. And again, for the viewers that are watching, I will tell you, and I was just speaking to my C-suite this morning, scattered site property management is a beast.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got, just say, 216 that are scattered throughout the valley. A little bit of Clark County, City of Las Vegas, North Las Vegas. What we don't have is Henderson, of which Henderson, if you're listening, we so want to do business in the city of Henderson.
Hi, Henderson.
Hi, Henderson. But the cool thing about the makeup of our portfolio, and we were just running the data the other day, and a lot of people don't know this, we partner with about 30 to 40 different nonprofits here in town.
Yes.
And, you know, Family Promise has a couple of units. I know we have Shine the Light, U.S. Vets, Catholic Charities through the refugee program.
Absolutely.
You know, that started off with just 3 units over here at the Betty Jean as a beta test, and we said, hey, let's grow this out because we just want to help more people.
Absolutely. And we're always looking to partner with more. That's kind of our thing. Teamwork, one team, one community. Hashtag.
Yes, one team, one community.
And that's my personal pet peeve is not enough people connect, network, partner. And I love to see it. I love to see what's happening here, and I love more of it.
Yeah, 15 years doing this, I still have yet to understand. Look, we're in real estate.
Right.
I'm going to keep it real, guys. Whether it be putting people in houses or developing from a construction standpoint, we're in the business of real estate. How is it that we're not understanding the need for affordable housing? I mean, I should be interviewing somebody, but, it's just my thing.
Totally. So NHSSN has been around for 30 years.
31.
31. This is our 31 year. And what does that mean to us, to you, to me?
It means we're making history. I wrote that down as well. That means we're just
I love
making
it.
history,
We're
guys.
making history. That's fantastic. We did our 30th gala last year, which I was quite proud to be a part of. And that was amazing because that was literally our first gala.
No.
It was our second gala. Yeah, that's right, because we had a 15 and a 30.
And we're having one next year.
We're having one next year.
This is actually the ask of some of our partners because they loved the 30th. The gala was not a normal gala. It was a show.
We do nothing normally at Neighborhood Housing Services. That's why we're all here. Yes.
That's my crazy one, my crazy team.
Exactly. The crazy ones.
The crazy ones.
Crazy ones. Oh, that's a good note too. That's what drew me here was the crazy ones.
Look, if you're always going to do things the same, it's the definition of insanity. So I will tell you the gala was, it was a beast. I'm not going to lie. But it was so much fun.
Now we know for next time.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned for that. And I did want to ask you, as far as your history with us for 15 years, is there something, as I know we've done so much, you've done so much, just something stand out to you that was amazing, that you're so proud of? I know you're so proud of everything.
Well, I can tell you this. It's not just me.
Yeah.
If I did not surround myself with some pretty awesome, crazy people
Absolutely.
who think differently, we would not, as an organization, be as successful. If there's anything that stands out, oh man, there's so much.
Exactly. Because everything you've ever told me about is like stand out.
The cool thing is we're almost at 2,000 people that we've provided down payment assistance to. So if you were going to talk about our lines of business, right? So like home ownership is a baby of mine, and almost 2,000 people, and it's just across the valley. And so please, I implore you, go to our website, click on I think it's About Us.
About Us, yeah.
And there is a map that I made my kid do that actually shows all the pins of where we've provided, be it education or down payment assistance. And that, I mean, you talk about changing lives. That's huge, So that was pretty powerful for me. Another one, so I have two more. The other one was what we did in Houston, because that to me was a conversation between Kat and I, our chief operating officer. We were at Triple George one day, and I still have a picture of the napkin. And I think it was Hurricane Katrina that hit. I think it was.
I think so.
And our folks out in Fifth Ward, Houston, were affected for it. And we said, man, we really, really want to help. And of course, at the time, it was, hey, can we get donations? And then we thought, what the hell? This is crazy. We're going to get donations. Where are we going to store them? How are we going to ship it, right? And then it went from, hey, Kat, we've got a relationship with Caesar's, I think it was Bally's in Flamingo. And I don't know who actually owned it at the time. But we were able to meet with the very philanthropic people over there, and they were rehabbing Bally's and Flamingo. And instead of it being put to auction, because a liquidator would come here locally and buy the items and it would go to auction, we were able to say, hey, how about we change that narrative and send these items to Houston? So it worked. Kat and I rolled up our sleeves, went to Houston, and we actually sent, I believe, 32 big rig trucks to help the folks out in Houston. So that to me was pretty awesome, because then we moved. When I talk about moving mountains, it's not just about here in Las Vegas. We were able to help folks in Houston. And then the last one is obviously the golden rule. And the only reason why is because I was deathly afraid. I was like, Michelle, get out of your own way. We've got to, we had a parcel of land. What are we going to do with it? It was just so in the moment, get out of your way, let's do it. And so pre-COVID, we decided to explore ground-up construction, and we did it.
Yes.
Even during a pandemic.
And did it well.
And did it well.
Amazing facility.
It's beautiful.
So beautiful. And so many small touches over there that whenever anybody sees it, they're like, wow, that's thoughtful.
Well, and again, if you look at, it's funny, you go to the golden rule, and while there's minor details, again, it's a low-income housing tax credit deal. And for those of you, again, who love to get in affordable housing, I implore you to really identify your why. Why do you want to get into it? It is not the easiest of transactions, very complex. But the smaller details are actually here at the Betty Jean, because this right here, that's a whole nother story. This building burnt down.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And, God bless Red Cross, we were able to identify quick housing. And actually, Scott Emerson, Scott, if you're listening, was instrumental in helping us put people into... I have a whole email on it.
Oh, it's amazing.
And so Scott helped us, but come to the Betty Jean if you ever want to take a tour.
Yes.
Just because when you talk about little touches, we didn't have FF&E over here.
Right.
So we did a lot of the design behind what it looks like, what the units are. This used to be a motel without any kitchenettes.
Yes.
And now 49 out of the 59 units have kitchenettes.
It's true. There are so many small details here too. So that's kind of our thing, like that. Those little details.
Little details that make a difference.
Just totally win you over. Yes.
It's like courting. No one courts anymore.
That's right. Exactly. And you mentioned about getting involved, home ownership, or affordable housing, people getting involved with affordable housing. It's not just about donating money, not even about donating time sometimes, but it is both. It's money, volunteerism. What can people do, or what should they do?
Oh, man.
So many things to do.
Well, at first I would say learn about it.
Yes.
Shouts out to Christine Hess. She's no longer with the Nevada Housing Coalition. But I will tell you, if you are in the space of real estate, and I'm not even going to put affordable housing, that's just a component of real estate. But if you are in the component of real estate, you need to become a member of the Nevada Housing Coalition, because as a community, it really talks about from a boots on the ground, some of the challenges, and I don't want to say so much challenges, but some of the opportunities that all of us have that together can make a really big difference in changing people's lives. And so, you talked about involvement. One, learn about affordable housing. If you really, at least this is for me. Oh gosh, I was speaking to somebody, and this is where the passion comes out, right? I was speaking to a board member currently, and the same question kind of was posed earlier. What was your why? Why this? Right. It really comes down to, and this is why I've been with the organization for so long. And I don't want to take away from my colleagues, because I respect my peers in the space of nonprofit. It's a lot of good work happening in our community, but it does take a village. But I do believe that home first, housing first. And the reason being is because if you don't have that home or a safe place to call home, everything else kind of goes to the wayside. It's not sustainable.
True.
So one, learn about affordable housing. Ask yourself wholeheartedly why you want to get involved, if this is something you really do. There's so many great causes in our community. And then talk to the executive director at a nonprofit organization. Because you can get involved at a committee level. You can get involved as a board member or just a volunteer. Right. That to me is so much from from my standpoint, is seeing somebody coming in and saying, I just want to help. Right. At what capacity?
Advocacy is generally free and huge. Just know it.
Just be an ambassador.
To be out there, exactly.
Yeah,
be an ambassador. So when somebody does say affordable housing, It can be like, no.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why?
Why?
What shapes
Yes.
your...
Why you?
Because then a lot of people are like, well, it's taxpayers' dollars. It's like, okay, I get that. But at the end of the day, what's your why?
Oh, yeah. Learn the things, do the math, see what's really out there with how unaffordable things are and what we need. It's a lot. So, yeah, just learning. Even if you don't have the time to volunteer or you don't have the money to give, just learn it.
Just learn.
Be
Go
an
to our
advocate,
website.
Be the ambassador.
Yeah.
MyNHSSN.org. And that map that you were talking about, that's part of our impact report. So you can go there, go to the About Us, go to the impact section, and it's right there to download. So that's pretty much like everything in a nutshell previously and last year that happened. So that is a good educational tool as well.
Yeah, it's
So
a
check
good
that
start.
out. It's a good start.
It's a good start.
Talk to them and talk to anybody. Talk to any nonprofit.
And again, if you're listening and you're not here locally, if you actually go to the Nevada Housing Coalition's website, there is a report that you can pull, not just here in Nevada, but across the nation, and we advocate one team, one community.
Right.
From a national standpoint, we are all dealing with the affordable housing crisis.
It is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yes.
And, I never want to say that anything good came out of the pandemic,
Right.
because it was tough for
It was
me.
tough. It was tough.
I
Yeah.
can say personally, it was tough for me.
No.
But if there's one thing that did come out is housing became a priority. Shelter in place, not just shelter in place, education in place,
Right.
staycation in place, you name it, we were at home.
We learned some important lessons.
Yes, we did.
That's what came out of that. And NeighborWorks, our friends at NeighborWorks, they're
I love
nationwide and doing this work everywhere.
Yeah.
Thanks
so
to our
thank you so
organizations.
much. So NeighborWorks America, again, take a look at
Another
them. They're
resource.
great. They have they are an affiliate of ours. If it wasn't for them, we would
Right.
not be as successful.
Right.
So kudos to NeighborWorks. And I will tell you, they have 252 organizations just like ours across the nation that is doing some really, really great
Amazing
work around
work.
real estate.
Exactly. 31 years now, here we are. Where do you see the organization in another 5 years or 10 years? Michelle has retired.
I don't know what the makeup is going to look like with staff.
No one knows who will be left.
I got some
but
serious
yes.
mob guilt.
Yes. But as far as the organization as a whole, because we've just continued to grow for 31 years, we're only getting bigger and better, I believe.
What I would like to see is obviously more ground-up development for rental.
Yes.
We just touched the surface. We just did 60 units
Right.
of senior housing, and phase 2 is coming on. I'm not saying it's coming online, but we're breaking ground in first quarter of next year.
Yes.
And that'll equal up to 120. And so we would love to do about 100 units for, let's just say, the next 5 years.
Amazing.
The challenge is always going to be where's the
Yes,
land?
the land.
Where's the land? We need land,
Yes.
guys. So
And that's what I continue to tell people, because that is a question that comes up a lot, is like, well, what do you need? We need land.
and what is that? You and I talked about it because Zach and I actually sit on another
Yes.
board of which we met on the City of Henderson Foundation
Library
Foundation.
Yes.
What is it called when you leave somebody?
Thank God for them.
Yeah, we love them. Shout out to LJ
Shout out
and
to
Monday
LJ
and Wanda,
Marcy,
and
and Angela.
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 What is it when you leave your property to? Oh gosh,
Legacy gifting, or
exactly
yeah?
legacy gifting.
Yeah.
And so again, it's we would love it if somebody said, I don't have any heirs and I'm going to leave this piece of property to a great, awesome organization that has been around and doing some really great work. But those are a dime a dozen.
Yes.
And so.
So the building part, while not easy, is doable. It's where to put it. That's the situation. So
Just lack
in case
of.
you're wondering.
Check.
In case, yes.
Lack of, check.
Lack of, yes.
Yeah.
Land. Give us land.
Yes.
Where's land?
Land is needed to make this
So,
happen.
more stuff. Did you want to talk about birthdays?
Well,
What do
I
you want
wanted
to talk about birthdays?
Well, it was a shout out, just so you guys
she
know.
texts me on the way, like, add that too.
Well, okay. Well, I said birthdays because today we're celebrating 2 birthdays. It is my board chair, which is Darius Tustin. If you listen,
happy birthday, Darius.
Actually, I'm not even going to say hopefully.
No,
You better
you
be
better be
watching
listening
and
and
listening.
watching, yes.
So happy birthday to Darius Tustin. He has been with me, my
Awesome.
ride or die, for God knows how long, since 2009. And then Richard,
And
our
Richard, our
regional
property
property manager,
manager.
is celebrating a birthday today. So shouts out
Awesome.
to all
Shout out to
those
them.
for August birthdays, because
August
my best friend
birthdays.
is also August.
Yes.
Even though they're all crazy people.
And so is your marketing manager and
Oh
co-host.
my God, and
too.
Zach. Jeez, Mary Joseph. We're celebrating tomorrow. So August birthdays, including my
Yes.
Zach. Absolutely.
Thanks.
It's not an afterthought. You know,
I know.
I love you.
I know you love me. It's okay. But yes, I am a Leo, people, so you understand that.
Crazy.
Here's the question. Always have one question in my shows, so I'm trying to figure out like what that one question is for every single guest, and I think this is going to be it. Is if you had one wish for the world, what would it be? Because in this situation, I think that's an appropriate
Just
question.
choose happy.
Ooh, choose happy.
Choose happy.
I love it.
Please choose happy.
I love it.
And find, I have 2. Choose
Okay.
happy and find the silver lining in everything. Just
I love that.
Just try.
That's true.
We're so blessed.
Because it's
We
there.
just-
It's always there.
oh, it's always there. We just have to dig deep. My father was great at silver linings because my kids drive me crazy. The kids do, right, guys?
That's
They
what
just
kids do.
drive us crazy. And my dad used to say, at least they're not sick,
Yes.
because they could be sick,
It's always something.
right? Or
Yes,
something.
something.
So, choose happy.
Awesome. Choose happy. That is fantastic.
And get that shirt.
Get that shirt done. Another hashtag. Choose happy. We're having our gala this year in the gutter.
We have put the gala in the, gutter.
Period.
Period.
Wait,
Just for
wait
for
for
this
it.
year.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Cosmic Bowling, Wildfire Lanes in Henderson, the one on Sunset and Sunset. We're not letting Michelle bowl. We keep saying that.
Oh,
It's just,
God.
I don't know why. Apparently, she's like.
Look, I'm not awesome at it, but I
Nice.
am always down for a healthy competition. And I used to be part of a bowling league, just full transparency. Bowling is fun.
Well, our group has not allowed it because we have other things for Michelle to do during the gala in the gutter. So it's going to be October 13th. It's a spooktacular.
Spooktacular.
Spectacular
Oh,
costume contest. We're all, because we do Halloween very seriously at NHSSN
4 years.
for years. Take a look at some of those pictures.
Oh, just go through our
my
Facebook.
God.
Every year, I don't make my staff do anything, okay? But I do say that I am part of hiring some really crazy people who choose to really say drink the juice. So
Go
yes,
all
we
out.
do take it
Yes.
seriously. Why not? You get
Absolutely.
dress
You get
up.
to dress up. Come on.
That's so much fun.
Who doesn't want to do that? So the theme of this gala, we're raising money. Tell them what we're raising money for.
So this campaign, I call it, is we have Nightmare on Webster Street.
Yes.
And Webster Street is a 4-unit apartment complex that has been very, very well lived in with people that have been there for years.
stayed,
Years.
yes.
And so we had the opportunity to, as people transition and go to something else, we have the opportunity to rehab it and do it right. And so it's one thing rehabbing, it's another dedicating it to the mission of the organization. And so, we have senior housing, but we don't have veteran housing, and we don't have low to moderate income veteran housing with disability. And so the why behind it is hopefully we can, and I'm not even going to say hopefully, because what's wrong with me? It really
It's
is
gonna happen.
manifesting.
Yeah, absolutely gonna happen.
The manifestation is to raise $100,000 to help us rehab Nightmare on Webster Street to make it fully ADA compliant. The cherry on top would be awesome if we can get some solar panels on the building to help reduce the cost of utilities. If there's one thing, and it was just as of yesterday, everybody's electricity bill went up.
Yeah.
I know mine went up $110.
Incredibly, yes.
Incredibly. And so I think about those that we serve. And I mean, and I read the other day, and it's, you know, we talk about it all the time. Nevada, in general, the renters, those that are renting, are paying 50% or more on rent.
Yes.
And so I think about the time when I was a single mom and I started with this organization, and, you know, my son at the time was 8. If he was 3 or 4, daycare alone is about $1,200 a month.
Wow.
And so you couple that with today's electricity, forget it. I just don't get how people
housing is supposed to be what, 30% of our budgets?
It's supposed
something
to
crazy
be
like that. But
it's
it is
supposed
not.
well,
Yeah.
you know, that's the magic number.
Yes, that's what. But that, however, working from that number from like 1981 or 1970 something was the last time that was evaluated.
Well, just follow. Again, guys, you know, when we talk about nonprofit, everybody, including my mother, God bless her heart, she thinks that I feed the homeless people. Yes, I do. I do help in that way. We do feed, you know, we partner with other folks to help feed our homeless population. But take us seriously. We're in the business for people.
Right.
You know, and so it's, I don't even know what to say about that.
So, Gala in the Gutter.
Gala in the Gutter.
We're raising the money. We've
Nightmare
got
on Webster.
a couple more sponsorships open.
5.
5 more
Not
sponsorships
10.
open, not 10, but 5.
And they are, the sweet spot right now, guys, is between that 5,000 to 7,500. So we're looking for folks who really, really want to help us build out Nightmare on Webster Street and give back to those that have served this, you know, this great country of ours.
Yes.
My husband's a veteran. Shouts out to him. I love him. He is the reason why I'm very successful in my life. But he has served in the military for many, many years. And man, I think about folks who are at a certain income population. We just need to do better.
Yes. Yeah. And seeing we've got a track record now. We've got Betty Jean, Golden Rule, all of the projects that we've done.
Whoosh, just wait for Webster.
Mic drop, yes.
Yes, mic
So
drop.
knowing that and the small touches, cannot wait to see what we do to this fourplex and turn it around and then get the veterans in there. So if you're interested in that, go to mynhssn.org, go to the events tab, click the gigantic banner that's on the front page. And check us out as far as there are ways that you can contribute, even if you're just wanting to do a small donation or if you want to do a sponsorship. So if you've got a team, a business, a corporation, whatever you've got, come out and
you know, I'm going to reach out to local businesses. We do have a silent auction.
Yes.
We are looking for any type of in-kind donation that you can provide so that people can go ahead and bid on them. You know, be it a staycation, you know, an entertainment package.
Tickets to
you
exciting stuff.
Just,
yes.
I'm all
Cool
about, what is it called? Experiences.
Yes.
So anything that you guys want to donate to help us raise money, the goal again is 100,000. If we get more, we can get those solar panels. And
Yes.
so it can help. And people are like, oh, well, it's only 4 units. Look, guys, because of the lines of business that we have, the whole goal is to create a path into homeownership, right? So we provide affordable housing, and then from affordable housing, it really goes to our homeownership department, to Belinda and them, and they provide the education, the down payment assistance, the financial literacy. It's making sure that our people are sustainable.
Well, you can't not do something just because you've got a few. Just because you can't do 100, you're not going to stop. You're going to do 4.
When I'm
and
gone,
one at a time.
When I'm gone from this organization, it'll still be dedicated to low to moderate income veterans. And so as one leaves, another one comes.
It's something, and it's a stepping stone. It's a step up. It's a helping hand up, not a handout.
Oh, thank God
as we
you
like
said
to
that.
say here.
Yes.
And then we've got Winter Wonderland coming up in December, so more to come on that.
We got so many events going on, guys.
Absolutely. But I would be remiss if I did not mention that, so stay tuned.
We got the Ida B. Wells house, too.
Yeah, we got the Ida B. Wells house. Cannot wait to talk about that. But that's another episode.
That one's going to be exciting, but that's as early as October.
So there's more stuff. There's always more stuff, and that's why 15 years goes by. And you'll still be subscribed to this podcast.
Well, and here's the thing. I don't know when Zach's going to air it. When do you plan on airing it?
As soon as we can, yes.
Okay, so as soon as we can, and my expectation is I want this week.
Yeah, like this week,
okay.
Yeah.
So my ask...
That's my boss.
No, I never like flexing my muscles, but damn it, I want
this week, yes.
So my call to action right now, and I actually just got off the phone with one of my board members, Christopher Guy, you're awesome. And to all my board members, if
awesome.
they will subscribe and watch this.
Yes, they will.
They are awesome. Between my board members, my committee, and my team, I will tell you I am surrounded by some really awesome people. But my call to action is HGTV, okay? So I emailed them at one point, because I'm crazy like that, right? I'm the leader of the crazies. And
she is.
So every time we have an event... Yes. Like last year I did Mr. Snoop Doggy Dog.
She contacted everyone.
I contacted everybody
Instagram.
Like, hey man, we're having this really great event. And half the time, well not half, I know that they've got somebody who's like
watching their
this
stuff.
person's crazy, let's move on. So, for those that live like Marky Mark, and I call him Marky Mark. Marky Mark. I'm older, so Marky Mark lives out here. His why is I know that he's very philanthropic. But man, I would love for us to connect and help you understand what we do. Yes. But HGTV is right along that vein of what we do, right? And so I pitched to them last year during the gala. And I got an email that basically said, hey, you could put a production together. Pitch us a production.
Put that together.
And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how am I? There's no way. I don't even have the time to. This took some time.
Yes, how long this took us.
This took some time. So we're finally here, and I'm trying to figure out how we can connect the dots with HGTV because of the Ida B. Wells house. And I'm just going to give a sneak peek because I know he's going to air this. Ida B. Wells has a descendant who actually lives in the historic Westside. And the descendant needs some love and light in the house. And we want to help the family by providing them an HGTV reveal. Yes. At least that's my vision,
makeover,
right?
Yes.
Like
home makeover.
Home makeover. And this is a very and if you don't know who Ida B. Wells is, the only thing I can say is Google it. She is the first African-American women's rights, civil rights activist. Yes. She's just a powerhouse.
Amazing.
I'm reading her book right now. And so her descendant lives in the historic Westside. And if you don't know about the historic Westside, Google that too. And then take a drive because I think it's so...
Yeah.
It's just awesome, guys. You just have to learn about where we came from to make better decisions for us and for our kids.
Oh. And they've got some great educational tools down there now with the park and the center.
And there's lots of art.
And you get to see downtown Las Vegas and the historic Westside.
Oh, yeah.
Highly recommend that.
Yeah.
So teaser on that. So HGTV.
I don't want to give too much, but definitely call to action for those that have a residency here in Las Vegas.
Yes.
I've Instagrammed Kelly Clarkson, Katy Perry, Bruno Mars. I was hoping Bruno Mars would be like, from one Filipino to another. That didn't work. So right now the whole Instagram is not working, but nobody says I can't stop trying.
No, and you will continue.
I don't give a... I'm not going to say bad words on our podcast, but I don't give a beep.
Yes, she will continue to Instagram everyone and stalk everyone. So Snoop Dogg and Marky Mark, you have not heard the last of Michelle Merced.
100%.
Absolutely.
Why not? I mean, they can just not view it. I know they got a lot of...
That's right. But where are they? They should be here.
You know, they're all doing some really great work.
Of course,
You know,
yes.
I even messaged, Shaquille O'Neal. They're all doing such great work in their communities. But hey, man, Vegas is a hub where
Teamwork, yeah.
Oh my God, they're one team.
Yeah, one team, one community. Hashtag. We do the hashtag thing with the.
No, I do this.
Oh, you
This
do
is
that.
what I learned recently.
Okay. She's
My
like-
little hearts.
Yeah, little heart fingers is what's happening for the people on the podcast that can't
Yeah,
see.
I don't-
But we're making all sorts of gestures now. So watch us on YouTube as well. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe to us everywhere. Thank you, Michelle.
Well, and not just
And
that,
anything else? Yeah.
one.
She's going to tell us what else. Yes.
Follow us, like us, share us, follow the podcast, follow the YouTube. I know that we're probably not the most. We're probably the most unorthodox YouTube channel because I
probably.
know what some funders would like to see. I am not, this is
No.
episode 1.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So my ask of Zach,
Shall
block
grow.
by block,
It
is
shall grow block by block.
I would love for him to spotlight some business,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
spotlight businesses, spotlight some of our partners, but be it realtors. You think about the cog of
Absolutely.
real
Oh,
estate,
yeah.
realtors, lenders, appraisers. What does all of that experience, general
Yeah.
contractors, everybody,
Oh, yeah.
partnering nonprofits. I mean,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
it's massive,
Also,
along
yeah.
with some really high-level people who have residency here.
That's right. Those two. And that's why when we thank people on this show, there's so many others to thank too. We can't thank them all because there's like so many, but I would like to talk to them all. So
Look,
we have enough show for the rest of our lives. So
We've got
we're
some
ready.
really great funders.
Yes.
Shouts out to Credit One Bank, City National, B&H Construction, Integrated Design, Grand Canyon Development. They're, currently right now, like I said, of the 11 lanes for the Cosmic,
yes.
for This Is How We Roll.
How We Roll.
And I love how y'all took my, This
This is how we roll. Yes.
You guys took that from me, but it's cool.
Best clip ever.
But we surround ourselves with people who are really trying to make a difference in our
Yes.
community. And, those that I just gave a shout out to, it's not a one-time thing.
Oh, no.
It's a continuous, when we talk about it takes a village, they are continuously helping us do some really great things in our community and change. Gosh, I think I heard the other day, if I could just change one life. And, I can say I'm very proud. My team has changed so many.
So many.
So many that didn't even think that they could
right.
even own a home.
True. It's out there. The help is out there. We're out there. Is there anything else you'd like to add? I wouldn't ask that of anyone but my boss
I'm not sure. Well, he says I'm
in this situation.
not a title kind of person.
No.
No, I don't want to add anything.
Okay.
Other than like us,
Yes,
follow
us,
us,
follow us,
share
share
us.
us.
And then just get involved. And it's not just with NHSSN or Neighborhood Housing Services. Get involved in some shape or form.
Speak to your passion. Anybody who knows me knows that's my
Mm-hmm.
main thing. So you find what you're passionate about and you find that nonprofit and learn about that. Go from there.
Absolutely.
Educate yourself. Become that advocate.
Yeah.
It's free. Advocacy is free. I need to write that down.
Get a shirt.
Get a shirt. Another shirt. We have a lot of shirts.
Or just one that says, be the ambassador.
Be the ambassador that you want to be.
I mean, I'll give it to Brooke. Brooke, if you're watching, from Just
Brooke.
One. We love you guys.
We do.
But man, they coined,
oh.
what is it? Charity Gangster.
Charity gangster. We're so
I
jealous.
hate you, but I love you guys because that is the best. I mean, you talk about something that speaks to me, that is awesome. I am not going to steal it. I can't.
No,
That's your
you can't.
guys'.
That's your thing. But we do.
We'll figure
really
out
like
something
it.
else.
We'll find something. So, special thanks also to U.S. Bank for helping us build this studio.
I know this is episode 1. So
episode
U.S.
1. So
Bank.
thank you.
Art, if you are watching, and
Look what you've done.
Art, look at this wonderful. And too bad we can't do a
Yes.
360.
Well, they'll see a lot on social media, so stay tuned on there.
I can tell you, Art's been so awesome. So, U.S. Bank, we thank you so much because this really does allow us to put our voice out there
Yes.
further. And Gabby, our newest board member,
Oh.
Gabriela.
Gabriel.
Thank you so much, U.S. Bank, for making this happen. Because again, this is episode 1. We're going to have a lot more.
Block by block, we're building it. All of our sponsors, supporters, and especially you, the listeners out there in the world. So as Michelle already told you, subscribe, like, share, do all the things. And you can get us wherever you get your fine podcasts out there on the internet.
Are we on Spotify?
We'll be on Spotify.
Spotify,
Apple,
I love
all those
it.
fun places. Yes. And visit mynhssn.org for more about us. Until next time, thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
This is
I always end with,
Oh, yeah.
go be great,
Great.
and don't text and drive. Those are my lives.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Bye.
Bye,
Until
guys.
next time.
Deuce.
Deuce.